Thriller.
Alright, so I just got done watching Thriller on Netflix. It was a movie that just got released like 4 days ago on Netflix, maybe 3 days ago. It was a movie that was shot in 2017 and didn't get released until like September in 2018 on like in the LA Film Festival, and now it's on Netflix and it's produced by Universal and Blumhouse, which is a fucking shock because this movie is awful. This movie's called Thriller, but it should be called plagiarism. This movie is a complete carbon copy of Prom Night in 1980, the one with Jamie Lee Curtis, and that was a movie that I just saw for the first time last October, and I was completely underwhelmed and upset by how terrible that film was. That's a movie that is said to be a classic from all kinds of horror fans, and I despised it. So, naturally, I despise this film. The only upgrade from the original Prom Night is that this movie looks better because it's modern. It's not so pixelated and nasty and grimy and gritty and just horrible. Because I have a DVD copy of Prom Night and it looks awful. But even this movie, I didn't like the way it looked. The whole fucking movie felt and looked like a music video. I don't know whose idea it was to rip off a movie, but that's what they did. And they did it on purpose. Alright, there's no way it was an accident because I have a whole list of things they copied. And yeah, let's go through it, shall we? So this movie starts with these like 6, 8 kids are playing this prank on this kid who has a stutter, and he's really nice. He's buying a hot dog for homeless people, for crying out loud. And their justification for picking on this kid and pranking him is, well, everybody pranks him and he just deserves it. You got the cliche girl who's like, well, he hasn't done anything wrong, let's not do it, but she does it anyways because she's fucking 12, you know? I don't blame them, they're 12. And they all have like these exact same skeleton masks that look like a ripoff of like Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, if that's what they were going for. But then the kid gets there, and their prank is basically jumping from corner of each room, like jumping out of the corners and like, bah! And then they do the chant, just like in Prom Night, except this time instead of saying, kill, 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 they're saying his name, and that's it. And then he, instead of being the one that falls out the window, he pushes a girl, who didn't look like a girl to me, falls to her death. Just like in Prom Night, a girl falls to her death. And just like in Prom Night, this girl is a sibling to somebody in that group. And just like in Prom Night, when somebody got wrongly convicted that we never met, in this one, Chauncey, the one who was being picked on, is the one that goes away for the crime. As if there's any evidence against him, what all their word, somebody could have just spoke up and said, look, it was an accident, alright? They're not all gonna go to prison. We got the fight scene in the cafeteria, and then we got the whole, this girl's trying to make this guy jealous, who's the prom king, so she dates this other guy, like hires the douchebag to make this guy jealous, and they're gonna sabotage the prom king and queen, just like in the original Prom Night, and the guy who is the douchebag trying to sabotage the prom king gets hit with the axe, except his head doesn't get decapitated. He just gets stabbed in the back. That's another thing. This movie is completely goreless and there's no boobs. The musical cues, like when the killer pops up, you got the same exact shitty ass music from the original Prom Night. And if we don't have that shitty music, we have shitty rap music and hip hop music playing throughout the whole fucking movie, and it's awful. We got the same exact like threatening message in the locker room from the original Prom Night, and we got the stupid list of names being crossed out. It's very brief. It's like in one moment. And it's not phone calls this time, but still, it's the same fucking thing. And the last thing I'll compare to the original is the outfit, the killer's outfit. In the original, it looked like he was like a burglar. Same thing going on here. What's his outfit? It's basically what I have on right now, except a hoodie. And then like some fucking mask over his face. Like some sort of like legging or something, like to cover his face. Another thing I hate about this movie is that this movie thinks that the audience is stupid. Like, we're just supposed to believe that it's Chauncey the whole time. I didn't fall for that. Alright, seriously. When a movie is pointing the finger at one person only the entire film, and they're not showing that person's face while the murders are being done, there's a reason. I would have caught on to exactly who it was sooner if I wasn't mixing characters up throughout the whole fucking movie, because these characters are fucking unmemorable. The principal in this one, he's different from the original. He's a fucking like ex-military guy who fucking physically hits students who are underage, doesn't get arrested for it, and then later on he gets taken down by the bad guy in like a second, even though he's like ex-military, Get the fuck out of here. And then, like, the one teacher we see in this movie looks like she's a fucking supermodel, and she does choreography for the prom, I guess. I hate the dialogue in this movie. You know, I just hate everything about this movie. I fucking hate. There's not a single positive. Have you realized that? We're never gonna go to the positives because there is no positives for this movie. I think Derek, the killer, his name's Derek, and his reason for flunking class in the second semester is, well, statistics say I'm gonna die anyways from, gangsters or something. I'm just gonna die, so why study? I think that was his character. It might have been Ty. I don't know. Ty and Derek were the characters I was mixing up the whole time, which is why I was very confused throughout this movie. I was like, wait, huh? Why? I thought they were together. Nope, they're not. Shitty characters, no character arcs. They're just complete shitheads. You want them all to die, and half of them don't. And the other half that do die, they die off camera. I like how when the one guy is getting hit with the baseball bat like 5 times off camera, each time the bat comes up, there's no blood, and then all of a sudden blood like hits the wall. It's stupid. And then I like how this one guy who, he just witnesses 2 guys get their asses kicked by a psychopath who's about to kill him, then doesn't. He drops the gun, and then he's like, oh, I knew you were a pussy, and then turns his back on him. Why would you turn your back on a psychopath and call him a pussy when he was about to shoot you in your fucking face? It's just stupid. Dream sequences, you gotta have them in shitty movies. It's like a checklist. They gotta, alright, this movie sucks. How can we make it suck more? Dream sequence. I don't know why I'm mentioning this, but I just want to, because I've noticed it in a lot of movies, and dumb ones especially. Who does this? Like, seriously, I hate this question whenever it's asked, because it's the question about asking questions. It's, hey, can I ask you a question? Just fucking ask it. There's a famous rapper in this movie. He's supposed to be on some sort of level like Drake or some shit. He's supposed to be really famous, and he goes to do his radio interview. And guess how many people are waiting for him outside the DJ's office or studio, whatever. 5 people. And he's got 1 bodyguard, and then he automatically agrees to take this person he just fucking met who's 17, she lies that she's 18, to prom or homecoming. They can't steal prom night's story too much, so they call it homecoming in this one. But he takes her to homecoming, fucks her, and it's really, it was so fucking stupid and far out in left field, crazy, there's no way this is happening. I thought it was a dream sequence, but it was real. And then when the rapper gets to the homecoming, prom night, whatever, he starts singing his one hit song at the place. Everybody knows him. He's very recognizable. Like I said, he's very famous, but he's got no paparazzi following him. He's got nobody. Just 1 bodyguard, 5 people waiting for him outside the radio studio. But when he gets to the homecoming, he's singing his song, and he's auto-tuned. He's got, it's a studio recording. It's bullshit. Was he lip-singing? There's no way they had that shit set up for him. Nobody knew he was coming. Just like in the original prom night, a woman is running through the halls and then she magically just gets up to the roof. That's different. But before that, she's hiding underneath a desk, like in the original prom night. But then she just runs up to the roof. What a fucking idiot. And then you find out who the killer is, and you're just yeah, very fucking predictable. Of course it's not Chauncey. Why would you think it was? This isn't summer of '84, alright? This is a stupid-ass movie thinking I'm stupid and I wasn't going to be able to predict it. Of course it's Derek. Why wouldn't it be? He was the first one that saw Chauncey released from prison and then was able to be oh, I'm going to start killing people and blame it on Chauncey again. I kind of figure when the next day after the first person dies is oh my gosh, look what was on Snapchat, dead bodies. Bullshit, you took those pictures. And then every time the killer pops up, you just know he's about to pop up. Everything about this movie is predictable. Everything. It takes itself so fucking serious to the point where you're laughing at how stupid the movie is, and there is no jokes. There's no funny anything in this movie. It sucks balls. So when it comes to thriller, there's one thing I'd rather do, and that is to blow my fucking brains out. Shame on you, Blumhouse, for even putting a single dime towards this project. If you're gonna rip off a movie, just call it Prom Night, the second remake. This movie just fucking blows. Do not waste your time on it. It sucks. Alright, take me at my word for it. It's not worth your time. Period. Those are my thoughts on Thriller. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. If you haven't seen it, don't watch it. And thank you so much for joining me tonight. Hit this like button to show your support, and you can become a subscriber today just by clicking on my cartoon face in about 5 seconds to see more. And until next time, I'll read the scene.